What's going on, guys? You are listening to Beyond the Fantasy Football Podcast. Make sure you wait till the end of the show to catch our Twitter handle and our YouTube channel. Hop on Twitter, give us a follow, hop on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for all of your weekly fantasy football updates. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the other side. All right, we are back. Third edition?
Third edition.
Heck yeah.
Week 2 edition of the Beyond the Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Will Essick. I'm here with my co-hosts, Dylan and Michael Gibson. We are back to do a little recap of the week. Any serious victory laps you guys want to take right here?
Have we renamed the pod to the Watkins Henry Beyond the Fantasy Pod?
Yeah, I figured I was going to catch some shit for that. So that's you guys both want to take a victory lap around the table here
Oh, bro,
for that one.
Talk about unbelievable performances, man.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, not even my wildest dreams could have imagined that. That was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Henry went off.
Jared texted me. I think Sunday night when I was in Chicago all weekend. And so Jared texted me, and I got off the plane. Jared texted me. He said, "So how about Derrick Henry and Sammy Watkins?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about it, dude." He's like, "We're gonna talk enough about it when we do the podcast." No, that's sweet, man. Henry balled. Sammy, that was just unbelievable, and that was just like perfect situation for him.
Yeah.
Like Tyreek goes down, he blows up. I mean, Tyreek was still in the game when all this was happening, but then he goes down and then he just keeps getting fed.
Oh, now it's just on
such
for
a
the
huge
rest
value
of the next 8 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But he was PFF's number 1 graded wide receiver. He had the most yards after catch, most missed tackles, and now you're telling me Tyreek's not going to play?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, man.
His quarterback's pretty good too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be.
That's awesome.
And it looks like the defense is not too good, which is fantastic.
Which is great.
This is what
we
we
love
want.
it. Eat it up. Dylan, anything about Henry to say?
Oh man. I mean, he ran well, and then that catch for 75-yard touchdown, just the icing on the cake. It just showed what he can do. He took off. I loved it.
He plodded down the field.
No, he did not. He looked good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any serious. I'll give you a victory lap. Josh Jacobs scored twice.
Yeah.
There you go. That's not
Josh
bad at all,
Jacobs
Brad.
scored
That's
twice.
your guy.
Volume. That's good stuff. Really.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to get a lot of volume. And Oakland didn't look terrible.
Yeah,
That's the
in
only thing
games
I'm
they
worried
win,
about.
he's going to play pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. And if he's on the field for third downs, even when they're not, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think they're going to score a whole lot. I don't think he's going to score like that. But if he's getting that volume,
right,
can't hate it. So I guess that's going to be my very short victory lap.
I like it.
So we're gonna do a little buy low, sell high. Some of the guys sitting around here, what we think.
I got one more victory lap real quick.
Okay.
He didn't have the most impressive stat line ever, but Allen Robinson, man, he could have had 300 yards if he had a quarterback.
God,
the guy's
that-
elite, man.
Man,
He
that
is
was
good.
just God, dude. That
Forgot about the Thursday game.
I have done my best to forget about that game. That was miserable. I was psyched up, had my DK lineups in just for no reason at all, just lit my money on fire. I think the guys that won that night literally started defenses as their captains, which is just awful. It's awful to watch. It was an awful game to watch, but
Allen Robinson did look good though.
A-Rob did look good. And how about Tariq Cohen is now a wide receiver? Apparently,
He's just anything. Just get him on the field somewhere.
What he had I can't remember the exact number.
It was
but he
9
had
or
like
10
50
catches.
snaps and
And
only
Cordero
4 were in the backfield. That's insane.
he had zero
carries.
zero carries.
Yeah, wow.
And he had like 9 or 10
Cordero
receptions.
Patterson is the short yardage back.
I don't think that
Third
is
and
the
one.
case anymore.
Give it to Cordero Patterson straight ahead.
No, and
He
that was
does
like
his
at a
best work
pivotal point.
outside.
That was
Yeah, it's like the first third down of the game. They're like, we're going for They'll never think we'll run. Here we go.
and they just double tight end Cordero Patterson.
That's overthinking it, Brad. That's overthinking it.
That was tough. Speaking of overthinking it, what the hell is up with Mike Davis? What's
Mike Davis.
why,
That's gonna be short lived. That's just trying to say we signed this guy for this money. Let's get our money's worth.
You got to
And
think
it won't
he's in
last.
there. They're easing the rookie in. Whether they should or not, that's what they're doing. They're easing the rookie in.
I mean, Demont looked good when he touched the
Yeah,
ball.
he
I mean,
looked good. And
he was shifty.
He just got no burst is the only problem. That's
Yeah.
what separates him from ever being a top back.
Yeah, once he
can't
gets the
hit
separation,
gas,
he
man.
can't. Yeah,
He's got the moves. He's
Yeah.
shifty, like you said.
Yeah, he'll break some tackles, but he won't go anywhere when he does.
Yeah,
He'll
that's
break
what I'm
6
thinking.
tackles and have a 3-yard gain. But no, man, I'm excited. Football's back. All right, so let's go. We're gonna do buy low, sell high here. Guys that did not play well week 1. We're gonna talk about some guys that we like. Michael? Who you got? Who you buying right here?
Man, this might be a little bit risky considering how that backfield shaked out on Sunday night, but Sony Michel. You got the matchup against the Dolphins coming up. He's got the talent. He was a first-round pick. People are saying a little bit of things about the knee, like maybe they don't want to give him a bunch of carries or whatever. That's nonsense. They gave him the carries last year. He's going to be fine. It just, the way the game script was, it got away from him. He's going to be a fine back, a halfback too. If you can get him after that 15 carry for 14-yard performance, go out and buy him.
I mean,
buy him in droves.
The plus side is they believe in him, and he did get the 15 carries. He didn't do anything with them, but he's going to have games where he either falls in the end zone or has some boom games.
I mean, the offense is going to score. He's going to have chances to score if he's the one that touches the ball on the goal line. Now, we'll see if he's the one that's going to be the beneficiary of being on the goal line. You just never know with them. Is that a telling tale of how the Steelers played the run defense? So did they try to take that away? I mean, it did whatever they tried to do didn't work. They got absolutely just ran over. But I mean, what's that a product of? You guys think from what you saw?
If it could have had something to do with the way they game plan that game, because you got to think, looking at the Patriots, they don't have Gronk anymore. I mean, they have Josh Gordon and Edelman, so I think they thought they could control that, and maybe they wanted to focus on stopping the run.
Yeah.
Steelers' run D is pretty solid anyway.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, I don't care what you think about Michel. If you just get him for next week, he's going to score twice against the Dolphins. You can flip him if you don't like him, but you probably want to have him for next week if you can get him.
Yeah. He's that Patriots-Dolphins game that's coming up is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be pretty. Do you see the Patriots as the type of team to go out there and flex their muscles and score 5 or 6 times?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they would love nothing more.
Yeah, so to just absolutely just win 45-3.
I think the line on that game is 19 points. Patriots are favored by. So they will probably win by a lot.
Yeah, that's gonna be scary. Dylan, who you got? Who you buying low right here?
I am buying low on Miles Sanders. I think his stat line looked atrocious, but if you check out the game, he ran really well. He clearly was the best running back, or for the eye test at least, and he had a touchdown called back. So I think you need to get him now while his price kind of dropped and before it goes up even higher.
Yeah, You're a Miles Sanders fan, aren't you?
I do like Miles Sanders.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch the game because, like I said, I was out of town. But from what I've heard, is that he looked the best. I can't imagine anybody in that backfield being a better talent than he is. The offense is going to score. They're going to put up points, and I think his touches are just going to keep going up. I think he's going to have opportunities. So I like it. I don't know how soon it's going to happen, but you guys said, I think it was like week 6 or 7 earlier when we were talking about some redraft stuff about how he may come to life.
Yeah, if you like Miles Sanders though, or you're needing running back help in your redraft, or if you're playing Dynasty, now is probably the best time to get him.
Yeah, he is definitely a buy low candidate. I'm going to do something that's not incredibly shocking, but I'm going to talk about a guy that didn't play well in week 1. Mike Evans. I think Chris Godwin is only going to do good for Mike Evans' stock. I think that Mike Evans is going to have chances to score. The Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston played terrible. Those guys are going to go as far as Jameis can take them. I can't help but have optimism with Bruce Arians. I'm still going to hold on tight. I like Mike Evans' chances to score touchdowns this year. I think he's going to have 9-10 scores, which is a lot because they are playing against some good defenses. Panthers defense looked really good versus the NFC champions. Wait, didn't they lose?
Nah.
In the NFC? No, right? Am I losing?
They lost in the Super Bowl.
They did lose in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But
anyway,
Mike
all right.
Evans out there playing sick, man. I'll tell you this: sick on a short week going to Carolina against Dante Jackson and James Bradbury. I think after this week,
I agree. I don't think this week. I totally agree with that. It's a good point. The 2 corners for the Panthers look really good versus a good offense. They played well. The Panthers offense needs to play better for them to win, to put themselves in position to win ball games. Christian McCaffrey is absolutely ridiculous, dude. Absolutely ridiculous. But I do think after this week, it's going to be a great time to buy Mike Evans. So I'm buying Mike Evans low.
I'm in on that too. I like that. And I'll tell you what I like about Jameis is People worry about those pick sixes. I like it. You get the ball right
Yeah,
back. It doesn't bother me if I got the receivers.
And then even better is that now you're down 7 points,
Yeah,
so now you got to
you're
throw it
definitely
more.
throwing. I love it, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
They'll have way better days than what they had this past Sunday.
I have nothing but optimism about their offense. Okay, so let's talk a little sell high here. Who's some guys that played well, that showed numbers wise they played well, but maybe the numbers are deceiving what's actually going on.
I would
you wanna
sell
go?
high on Marlon Mack. I just don't know how many games they're going to be in the lead, in the mix like that. And he played out of his mind, man. That was a great stat line for him.
Yeah, he did. He had a great game, breaking tackles. I don't think there's not many people that owned him in DFS. I don't think anybody expected him to have a game like that.
Owned.
Yeah, Dylan, who you got? What are you thinking?
All right. Well, I guess. All right. Yeah, I'm selling high on LaShawn McCoy if I can find a buyer.
You can't.
His his stat line looked like a lot better than Damian Williams, but the thing you got to notice is he wasn't as involved at all in the passing game as Damian Williams was.
Sure.
I think what he had like 10 carries for 80 yards.
Yeah, I know. It was 10. It was 10 carries and around 80, 90 yards.
So yeah, he looked like he ran well.
That.
He looked like he ran a lot better than Damian Williams. I think if you can kind of find somebody that has that mindset about him, then you need to get rid of him right now.
Yeah, Marlon. Just back quickly. Marlon Mack had 25 carries. 25 carries for 174. 7 yards.
That's fantastic.
No,
but it's not
happening. No, I agree. I just don't see that happening a whole lot.
If you look at that 0 on receptions,
yeah,
that's what I'd be a little bit
interesting.
worried about. That's not going to help your floor much.
And
especially when you're playing from behind a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So let's take a look quickly. I'm going to pull it up here. Let's look at McCoy.
10 for 81.
That's sound it's 10 for 81, which is a great line. But it's not that I necessarily disagree with what you're saying. It's just I don't know how game scripts are going to look. I think he's going to be the primary beneficiary of game scripts where the Chiefs are beating teams down.
Yeah.
And I think that's just
he
going
looked like he could run good, and I agree with that. Like when they're winning and they're going to put him in, let him run the ball. But I mean, you got to be involved in what helps them get the big leads.
That's
too.
true.
I'll tell you this: I don't think you can get anything for him really on the trade market that would be worth your while.
Yeah,
so
just keep
you probably
him.
got him pretty cheap anyway. Just
So,
roll him. He's
yeah.
the best offense. If Damian Williams did go down,
Yeah,
we're going to party like it's 08.
Yeah, and then,
So let's roll it. Dude.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a holding roll for me.
I definitely a candidate for a guy that you just want to hold and roll on and roll with because, like you said, if Damian goes down, you're in a great spot having the lead back and the best offense in the league. And if not, I mean, you can at least hold him and then roll him out there whenever they play against teams that it looks like they're going to beat them down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely.
So my sell high, and I've been big on this dude, and I'm just selling high for now. I've been big on this
buy
guy.
back later.
Yeah, I'll buy some more later when he proves me wrong. Chris Carson. Chris Carson was the beneficiary of a really good game script, and I don't know how many times they can turn around and just hand him the ball. That's what I said. It's the reason I drafted him in redraft, and I want him on my bench if I can. But right now, I think his stock is as good as it's going to get.
Pull
He
up the
scored
stat
twice.
line.
You want to pull up the stat line?
Let's talk about it. I'll tell you what gets me excited about Carson is that passing game work, man. This guy got a ton of targets.
I love
7
it.
targets. That's like more than he got all last year combined.
And they talked about they want him to catch the ball. He's the guy there. I get it.
Oh,
I just
Penny's
don't. I just don't love 3 yards per carry. It's against the Cincinnati Bengals defense.
That's beatable, absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't.
And Seattle's another team that plays just slow, dude. You're not breaking any
so he
records
had that.
with them.
He had a 21-yard carry. It says
Yeah.
so. That means that's 14 carries for 25 the rest of the way.
Well,
Yeah,
Dylan,
so-
they didn't take your A and art class away from your GPA. So
Yeah.
come on now.
And if we're in a situation where we're selling high, if you need to upgrade out of position, I think he's going to get a lot of passing down work, but I think there's going to be some weeks where if he doesn't break off the long one and they're not scoring, if they can't have him at a really efficient stat line against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, I'm just a little worried. That's all I'm saying. Give me some Chris Carson. I love it. I want to roll him out there. I was going to roll him out there this week, and then Dylan said it. Johnny said it. They're like, dude, you need to relax. They're playing Pittsburgh this week. I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be a shootout. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So, and it's just not specifically in DFS. I think his stock is as good as it's going to get. You can ride that. Oh, he's getting targets now. He borderline is a true 3-down workhorse back. But it's not like Russell Wilson's coming out there and slinging the ball. They're going to turn around and hand it to him a lot. If he can't have any more than 3.1 yards per carry against that team, then I've got reason for concern.
That's a little worrisome, but it's hard to find a running back you can start for your fantasy team. So I'm kind of like,
that's true.
I'm holding and letting him roll, dude. I got another hold and roll.
Yeah, so let's just hold and roll right into that. Go ahead. Who are some guys that you liked? That you could possibly sell, but you're gonna just hold. You're just gonna roll them out there every week.
I got a couple of them here, but I would hold and roll some Sammy Watkins, dude. 9 for 198 and 3. That's not a fluke stat line. It's not like he lucked up and got 100 yards and a touchdown. Then you might be thinking, let me get him out of here before Hardman passes him. He is the number 1 receiver now, and when Tyreek gets back, I'll go ahead and tell you, he might be 1A, 1B. Sammy's not going away, dude.
They're going to. If he's healthy, if he's healthy, there's not a doubt in talent. I don't think anybody has watched Sammy Watkins play and doubts the talent. It's just
he looked like Clemson Watkins.
He did look good. Michael's over here all perched up. He loves him some Sammy Watkins.
I'm ready.
No, you can't help but love a guy that's the wide receiver 1 in that offense. We can rate.
I don't know what you could get for him right now that you would trade him in, especially like if you're talking about redraft. Like even in redraft, would you trade him for Odell in redraft?
Probably not.
No way.
No, you're
riding these 8 weeks and I'm rolling, dude.
Yeah, I want to be 8-0 exactly for sure. And even like you said, when Tyreek comes back, Tyreek has his own skill set that he's really good at. He's really good at taking the top off of defenses. He's good at shaking guys, finding holes in the zone. But Sammy Watkins now, if he stays healthy and it gives another big end zone target and can help take the lid off defenses, that offense is.
It's scary.
It's
scary. You'll see a little bit of Hardman this week, man.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Hardman show.
Hardman's pretty dang good too.
We'll
He's
see.
not Watkins or Tyreek, but he's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Dylan, who you rolling out there? Who you got?
All right, I'm holding Tyler Lockett. You can't really sell him. You can't really
can't do anything with him
either. You got to hold him and hope. He came out and said that that's the first time he's been double teamed like that since early college or whatever the quote was, but. You got to think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and he starts getting a little more volume than that. That can't be what the game plan was.
Yeah, it's more of a hold, not a hold and let roll.
Yeah,
roll means you're gonna roll, bruh.
Yeah, maybe you're actually gonna put him in your lap
too. I'll hold and roll Tyrell Williams. Just gonna be target hog all year, man. It wasn't a fluke.
Darren Waller is the target hog there. If you were wondering,
they're both target hogs, bro. It wasn't a fluke. He's gonna be the number 1 there for
if
all
you were
season.
lucky enough to get some Darren Waller, dude, you hold and let roll.
Yeah,
because that guy's not coming off the field. He's fast. He's quick. He's about
big dude. He's a huge dude.
He's as athletic as anybody else at tight end.
Yeah,
he's unbelievable.
Without a doubt. And he was going to be my hold and roll, so you kind of just gave me the layup here. I don't want to trade him. I want to start him. I was talking to one of my buddies, and I'm sure he'll probably listen to the podcast, Zach. And he was talking about it. Trying to make a trade. He didn't have a good week 1. Chubb didn't play well, and he's like, "Should I trade Chubb for some receiver help?" And I was like, "You need to relax. Chubb will be fine."
Oh yeah.
So that's no. That offense will be fine. There's no doubt in my mind that as a whole they'll be fine. But I said, "Is Waller on your waiver?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he lost week 1. I was like, "Dude,
scoop.
I said, pick him up now, right this second. Don't, absolutely put him. I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Like if he has Mark Andrews." So he has Mark Andrews, and I was like, dude, even if you like Andrews for this week, which I personally want, I want Waller in a shootout with Kansas City over Mark Andrews.
100% of the snaps versus like 65%.
Yeah. Give me all of the Waller. I told him, I was like, you can start whatever you want, but I was like, that man, you got to go click it right now. Put him on your bench. Dude. I'm rolling him out there, and until they change his price on DFS, I've got him 100% in 20 lineups for sure.
Why not?
I love it.
And John Gruden loves the guy more than we do.
Yeah,
that dude can't stop talking about it, man.
It's almost funny. It's like I think Gruden was a little surprised. He went out there and he performed. Carr played well. The Raiders looked really good.
Yeah.
That could be a product of playing against a Broncos team that's just not great. Their defense, they still have Von Miller. That's nothing to be shaky at, but
Well, they were getting the ball out quick. That was
They
kind of
were.
neutralizing Von Miller and them.
True.
But
That's very true. And Waller's going to be a big part of that. Tyrell Williams looked good. Man, Jacobs wasn't super effective, but they moved the ball.
Oh,
They
yeah.
scored twice. So
I think they're going to be a little scarier on the road watching that Raiders offense.
sure.
And, in that stadium, man, they were fired up the other night.
But even so, even if Jacobs is a different conversation, even if I don't think they're not going to be in games where they're blowing teams out. That team is not made for that.
Never.
So if they're in a ground and pound game, Waller's still going to get his targets.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to throw, and he's going to throw it in the seams. He's going to throw it between the numbers. And then in games where they're behind and getting the snot beat out of them by the Chargers and the Chiefs, they're going to have to throw it, and he's not throwing it anywhere other than to Waller and Tyrell Williams. So
how high is too high for Darren Waller the rest of the year? Tight end 5? Is he tight end 5? You got the big 3.
He can
Ingram.
finish. He can finish above Ertz.
Yeah,
He legitimately can finish above Ertz.
Yeah, for sure. But he's
So-
better than OJ Howard, right?
Yes,
I would
at
trade
one-
Howard for him straight up in redraft.
absolutely.
Maybe even dynasty.
That's quite an overreaction by us
Ready
three
to
sitting here at
roll,
the
dude.
table.
I'm
But
ready to roll.
Is it
Yeah.
an overreaction or is it a
He's
reaction?
the only. Well, he's not the only guy in Oakland, but he's the main guy. Whereas OJ Howard's just out there looking for scraps, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I was going to give him my to-go box from Outback.
what about so let's talk about.
Derrick Cook finished as tight end 5 last year in Oakland. So
That's true. That is true. So Carr may have.
Darren Waller is significantly younger than that.
and a lot
That's very
better.
true. So let's touch on this just really quick because there was some pretty insane numbers, and Cook did look good. That offense, the Saints offense, was. I mean, that was a shootout. That's football you like to watch between Texans and Saints. But Ingram, where do you think Ingram falls? Waller, Ingram. Ingram's going to get a shit ton of targets too, man. He's going to get fed.
That's
So-
the only guy they look for over there, dude. And now
I don't
Shepard's got
blame
the
him.
concussion.
I don't blame him. I really don't. I mean,
I think it even gets better when Daniel Jones gets in there. Because rookie quarterbacks love the tight end, and guess what? If I'm coming in there, I'm throwing to the most athletic guy I got.
Yeah,
either
absolutely.
Saquon or him.
Yeah.
I'm saying make me look good.
yeah, I think. I mean, it's. And I like Kittle, but these guys are going to get absolutely just peppered with
Oh, man.
targets.
Oh, yeah.
between-
Kittle is too. Kittle had 10
That's
targets
true.
and
That's true.
2 touchdowns called back.
I mean,
so maybe a buy low candidate if somebody's not paying attention, but
Yeah.
they don't have any receivers in San Francisco, man.
That's true. That's true. So a lot of good tight end position upside, which that's not anything crazy to happen. That's just kind of how the waiver wire works out. You know, tight ends kind of come in under the radar. You don't really know what to expect. You'll have a second or third year guy break out, and then you got to jump all over him.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna move on to some DFS stuff, right?
yeah.
So this is I had my first real success on DFS this weekend. On a couple $3 bets, ended up winning about $90, which is cool. And I know you guys found some success this weekend. So let's just
Absolutely.
talk about some of the plays from this past weekend that you really liked. Maybe something a little more than the obvious. I started Lamar Jackson and he went freaking nuts.
We did.
Yeah, we
He did.
played the obvious.
Sammy Watkins. Michael's huge Sammy Watkins fan, and that paid off
Absolutely.
big time. So let's just talk about some things that you like, some things that you saw that may help us going forward, and then we will indeed go forward. And then
So I'll say this, and this is something I'm normally pretty bad at. Don't get just stuck with a certain player. Like this whole offseason, I was like, week 1, I'm going to play Kyler Murray. I cannot wait. I love that guy. It's going to be awesome.
yeah,
Well, more information came in. Marcus Gilbert was going to be out. I started looking at that Lions front. I started to back off, and then I was looking at Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I pull up his stats, and I see those 2 Miami games where he had 33 and 42, and I'm like, okay, cool. Josh Allen, had some big games, and I start thinking, who plays Miami this week? Well, it's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Josh Allen did most of his damage with his legs. All of a sudden, I punt Kyler Murray, moved that action over to Lamar. It was awesome. It probably saved the weekend from just being like a ho-hum whatever to like an awesome weekend.
yeah.
So we ended up with like 40% Lamar, about 30% Jameis, which sucked, and then the other 20% or so was Kyler.
So
it ended up being
you
pretty
didn't
nice.
do any Josh Allen. Just
Josh
defense
Allen
is good.
this
So,
week.
so
We
you
got
didn't
over
do
there
any
at Josh Allen. We thought about it, which he was in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean,
he
he
wasn't bad.
he
And those
started off
4
slow, he
turnovers
finished
weren't
pretty
really
solid,
his fault, but we saw that Lamar Jackson
fault.
light, and we were like, whew.
Yeah.
And not only
gotta
that,
pull it.
we played 90% Ingram, so we were just smashing the spot. I mean, they were
Yeah.
both too cheap for what they were. I don't know if
Gotcha.
you can do it again
Gotcha.
this week, but
Gotcha. I don't think Ingram's a bad buy, but Dylan made a great point. So we're just going to talk about this really quick, and then we can keep it moving. And I was talking about Ingram this week. It's not that they played bad. I just don't know if that's like the real Baltimore offense. I don't know what I watched,
Oh, yeah.
but it was.
the Dolphins
it was
are not fielding the NFL team, man. That's what you watch. But guess what? They get the Cardinals this week. I mean, they're not fielding
Yeah,
the
it's
NFL
gonna be
defense
fast-paced.
either.
Yeah,
and it's going to be very fast-paced. They had Matt Stafford throw for 338 yards, which
That's
never
true.
happens anymore.
That's
I'm going
true.
to bank
So-
on the fact that they told Lamar Jackson, like, hey, we got this game. You go out there and win with your arm. Do not run the ball.
Which you could do again this week, dude.
Dude,
I mean, Arizona is
that's craziness to me. I think that game flow, it worked out where because didn't Ingram break a big run early
yeah.
in the game?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it was in the
Yeah.
first couple minutes of the
fist
game.
pumping.
Yeah, I mean it was. Yeah, you guys beating your chest
was
over that
awesome.
start. Yeah, I mean, so I think that the game script kind of worked its way out, and they were like, let's roll out, and play calling kind of got a little bit looser. It's not that I'm a Lamar Jackson hater at all. I just don't know if I've seen how they're going to use Ingram, how Lamar Jackson but then
You
again,
still won't
even
know
if
after this week,
Yeah.
this
that's
is
true,
another smash matchup.
That's true.
dude.
You think
Yeah.
it'll be a shootout?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you saw last week the Hawkinson and the Stafford,
That's well.
I mean,
that
Arizona
is true.
The plays that Amendola and them scored on, or I don't know if Amendola scored, but he was wide
think he
open a ton
did,
of
yeah.
times. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he did.
They weren't covering anybody, dude. They don't care. They're not even trying. They're like, they just want to get off the field and let Kyler play.
I don't blame
So,
him. I want him
Lamar
to get
can
off the
have
field and
another
watch
great
Kyler play
performance.
too. I don't even care. That's fine. Get out of the way. No, so I like it. So Ingram, a great play last week. Lamar, obviously. Sammy Watkins, a good start. So some names that you guys have said that you liked, obviously played well week 1. So let's look at turn our attention to week 2. We've already done that a little bit. Who are you liking? Give us some, obviously, other than everybody sees the Rams play the Saints. We know it's going to be a good game.
Oh, that'd
So-
be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're on
Which
the
is
Kamara.
fine, roll them out there. But everybody wants some shares of that. So give me something that may not meet the eye here for week 2 in DFS. And if I need to get creative on our board in here, I'll be glad to.
You want to start it up?
Well, I think you go back to Josh Allen. If he failed you last week or if he wasn't the most exciting quarterback last week, I think it's time to go back to him and stack him back up with John
Smokey Brown.
Yeah, I
dude,
think it
against
works out again
Janoris
this week.
Jenkins. The Giants corners had nothing for Amari
Dude,
Cooper or any of them, dude. Not for Gallup, not for Blake Jarwin. They didn't have anything for
Randall
Jason
Cobb looked
Witten.
good.
man.
They
had nothing.
made Dak Prescott look like a Hall of Famer.
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
Cowboys
you're gonna
fans
wanna
were
have the
just
Allen Brown
just
Just
so happy,
drooling,
man.
dude. God, it's been awful.
Man, they were right about everything all
Yeah.
offseason, the Cowboys were.
Who do the Cowboys play the Redskins? It's probably not going to get a whole lot better. God, we're going to
Nah.
listen to that for 2
Ugh.
weeks.
Yeah.
Trash.
Oh man, that's fine. So we like Josh Allen, John Brown against that Giants secondary. Whew, that's
Oh,
gonna
I
be.
love it, dude.
I mean, he's gonna have what two or three chances at least
Oh, yeah.
of
Absolutely.
catching a deep ball.
And the targets are there, so he's not your conventional deep threat. If he doesn't get his deep target,
Yeah.
he's still going to be fine and get you, 5 for 70 or whatever.
Yeah,
he's
so
going to make some
not-
stuff happen.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
at
low floor.
53 for Josh Allen, 52 for John Brown. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna pick it up here and go guy that we talked about, Waller. So for
Slamming
those that
it,
don't, the guys that don't know, the Monday night games, they change the salaries for the week on Monday morning, and that's when they come out. I guess they probably do it late Sunday night and they release it.
It's all
whatever
algorithms anyway.
Yeah, whatever. But so Waller and Tyrell Williams neither were changed for this coming week. So Waller is still available at a fantastic price.
Yeah, typically you'd see guys that go off like that get their price bumped up a good amount.
He should
but-
be every bit of 4,300. Is what he should be.
At least. I mean, I would put him. Let's see some names. Right there behind Evan Ingram is at 52.
Way
Derrick
above
Cook played.
Vance McDonald.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely above Vance McDonald. So. I'd
Did
have to
Jared
agree
Cook
with that.
do anything the other night?
I mean,
think
he
even
looked
saw him
good,
hardly
but
Was
play.
it 5.7
I wouldn't start him
points?
this week. I think that's too high for. But he could score. I mean, it's possible. If he were down near Vance McDonald, he'd definitely be a guy that I would.
Yeah,
that
I think
I'd
I
look
think
at
if
for
you're getting
sure.
off at Waller this week, you gotta. I mean, you could play Mark Andrews, but if you're getting off
You
at Waller,
could
you
play
need to
Mark
go pay
Andrews.
up for Kelsey or Kittle. I think.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. So we've got Josh Allen, John Brown, and Waller. Michael, where are we going here? Are we grabbing a stud?
Bruh.
We like studs.
We're going Derrick Henry here, bruh. After what Austin Eckler did to him, and the Titans are in a better chance to be winning that game. They could win that game. They could be leading that game the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a smash spot. Austin Eckler was bouncing off tackles. What do you think 300-pound Derrick Henry's going to do?
Yeah,
He's going to run over people, man. And
Yeah.
he's getting that pass game work. Plug him in.
Yeah, I like it, man. The what the hell happened in Tennessee? They look good,
they
or did the
slapped
Browns
off.
did the Browns just look that bad? There was.
I don't know, bro. But I
hard to
got to get
tell.
one of those watches, and I'll have to play DFS a couple more weeks to be able to afford one.
Did
But
you see what he said? He was like, if it's not my watch, they'd be talking about how I tie my shoes. Like, listen, man.
no, nobody's ever talked about that.
No,
before, bro.
listen, you're wearing a watch while you
That
play.
watch was sick.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care what
cool.
I'd keep rolling it out there.
He is. He said he's wearing it again. Week 2.
Hey,
Run it back.
Take your hit.
That's going to end up being the world's most expensive watch, bro. By the time the fines are all done,
I love it. That's so true. So true. Dylan, pick us up here. So we've got Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, John Brown, and Waller. Our player average right now is right around 6,000, which is
I'm gonna keep saving us some money, man. There's another mid-tier wide receiver. Last week, Patrick Mahomes threw to his number 2 receiver, who is super fast and torched Jacksonville defense. This week you got Deshaun Watson throwing to his number 2 wide receiver, who's super fast, and his name is Will Fuller.
wow. Now I did not expect you to
I
go
wasn't
there.
expecting that at all.
I think
You got to still have
good
respect
tournament
for
play.
Boye and Ramsey, man. I mean, they're still great corners. It's just Watkins is a freak. Fuller's good, but Watkins is a freak.
I think
probably
it's
wouldn't
a,
go
I think
that
it's a
route.
great tournament play. I think he could really.
Unnecessary.
I don't love it, and we can talk about it, and that's fine. So
Switch
he
him out for Hardman.
so
I like Hardman too, though.
okay.
Hardman
So
played a bunch of snaps. He didn't really show in the box score,
Yeah,
but
did
he'll
play
be playing
73%.
ball, man. He'll be ready to roll.
I think I
think
do
you-
like the Hardman play. I don't. What is leading you to the Will Fuller pick? Just so we can kind of figure out. You think it's just percentage owned, and you think that he has.
I just think it's a sneaky play in the 5,000 range. It's just got a big ceiling. I think he could get 2 deep balls. I mean, kind of chasing points, but I kind of like.
If I'm gonna do that, then why not follow a guy that just popped off? That just Terry.
Oh, scary.
Oh, you
Terry.
can't-
Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, if you're gonna chase points like that,
I'll tell you what.
I'm just not gonna chase it in that matchup. I don't.
Oakland's
But
missing a couple people in the backfield, or the back of the defensive backfield, whatever. Abrams is out. I think Conley's out. Whatever.
Yeah.
Hardman's in a great spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
Hardman could ball out.
he could smash. If you want to go more consistent, plug in Tyrell. I don't mind running 2 Oakland people.
Yeah.
I think if you
they're
don't play-
cheap enough, it's fine.
I'll go with that. I think if you don't play Kelsey, you definitely have to get Hardman in your lineups.
okay.
Somebody's
You're
gonna
going to
eat
want
against
somebody from
Oakland.
KC, and everybody's going to be on Watkins, and it might be the right play.
Yeah,
maybe.
it could be.
So I wouldn't say don't play any Watkins.
I still
but
think I'm gonna go on record saying this, and next week I could get egg on my face, which is fine because I did that about Sammy Watkins last week. So I got to get it right eventually. I think that Mahomes is going to make an effort for Kelsey to score. I think he knows
after that
after he did that. I just think that Kelsey's going to score at least once.
I mean, I think
maybe
every
two.
time Watkins scored last week, it was before they got in the Kelsey area.
That's true. That is true.
If
and
I
I'm,
could play Kelsey at wide receiver, I'd be doing it. The
Yeah,
only thing
for
that's
sure.
stopping me is I want to plug in Darren Waller.
So
So I'm
okay,
sitting
so
here like-
so I had this thought process, and it's scary. So you don't like to roll the 2 tight ends. You don't like to
It's
roll.
never worked for me. It could work. It's never.
I'm
worked
saying
for me.
it's just this week. I just feel like Kelsey's going to get fed. I just have a feeling
He
that's my
killed
gut.
Oakland last year. I mean, he killed Oakland.
I'm saying so if you can buy Waller at that price, so you're getting a guy that's going to get solid wide receiver 2, maybe even wide receiver 1 if they're down at those types of numbers, and then you're throwing in a Kelsey who's going to score, in my opinion, at least once, maybe twice. This would be the only time that I like it, just because the price Waller's coming
The
in.
only reason I haven't done a lot is just because the way the lineup builds out. That's just the only.
Yeah.
thing. Like, he's a great play.
Yeah,
obviously.
I love some Kelsey this week, and I actually have one lineup with Waller just for shits and giggles, and both of them in there.
I don't think you can go
yeah.
wrong, man. I mean,
So we're gonna keep rolling. Just that was off on a little tangent. So we've got Josh Allen at quarterback, Henry in a great matchup, running through tackles. We talked about that Colts defense did not look good versus Eckler and the Chargers. John Brown. So we have that stack with Josh Allen, Hardman. We think is gonna have a great week. Kansas City, and then we have Waller at tight end. So I want to pick it up here. In a game that we talked about, I want a stud. I want to pay up for a guy. I'm going Kamara here.
yes,
if
absolutely
I don't have Drew Brees in the lineup, I want to go. I want to have lineups with Drew Brees and Michael Thomas. And if I don't have either one of those, I'll give me some of that Rams and Saints game, please.
Dude, why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, he's obviously, when you look at the running backs this week, you think Kamara is going to be the highest scorer, so you
Yeah.
need to cramp him in your lineups.
And then like you said, he's at 82, and I think this is going to be one of the last times we can get him at that price after the week he's about to have. In my opinion, I think he's going to be he's going to skyrocket.
You saw what McCaffrey did to him. You saw what Kamara did to him last year.
Yeah.
There's no Nam Kong Su, but there is 2 elite corners, so that kind of worries me about Michael Thomas. So let me get Kamara and just what I love about that offense, man, it only goes to about 3 people. Every once in a while you'll see a Ted Ginn or Tre'Quan Smith, but most of the time it's Kamara, MT. Let me get some Kamara, dude, all day.
I love it. All right, so give me a play here. So our player average is at 5,700, really good. We got 17,200 left in our salary. Where are we going with this lineup here, Michael?
You got to have a Baltimore Raven against that Cardinals defense, man. So you got to go Mark Ingram back to the well. They were the league's worst run D last year. They looked pretty good against our friend Carry-On because that's Carry-On. But Ingram should have another chance at a double touchdown day. I think they'll get him involved in the passing game a little bit. I think that was just because they didn't need to throw to a back.
Yeah.
So he could have a pretty good day again. Even at higher ownership? I'll eat the chalk.
Is this a time where... And it would be $200 to pay more for him. Is this a time where you look at a Sony Michel, like if you're a believer and that's how that game script's going to go, you want some of this Arizona Baltimore game? I get that, but I mean, is this a time where you would pay up, or you'd look to grab some Sony Michel shares in some lineups and then have
Absolutely.
Ingram?
I'm gonna have some Michel this week for sure at stupid low ownership.
Yeah,
because he's a threat for a 3 touchdown day easily, man.
You think?
So, yeah, I mean, Michel or Ingram's fine. If I'm doing a little bit more conventional, a little safer, Ingram, I guess. But, yeah, Michel's no problem. But I do want some kind of Raven, probably Lamar.
And Ingram.
I'd rather just run naked Lamar again.
Really?
Whatever. I mean,
I don't mind that. I'm probably gonna make a Lamar lineup.
Just because what they let Stafford do.
Yeah.
If you let Stafford throw for 338 yards against you, anybody can do it, man. And you're talking about... I don't know.
So on the flip side of that, you don't like any Cardinals this week. Normally in those games, do you think it's going to be a Raven stomp, or you don't want to buy any? Because you saw it last week with whenever the Stafford did throw for what he did, and he did put up the numbers that he did, and then the Cardinals had to chase. Kyler and DJ won me some money. Yeah,
so got to get at the end. Yeah. I would say week 3 is when you want Kyler. When they're going against the Carolina Panthers, that's going to be an all-out shootout. This week, he's still trying to learn the NFL a little bit. It's hard to learn against the Ravens. They do have some corners out. But
they are in Baltimore.
Nice.
They are in Baltimore,
too.
Yeah, I'm with it. They're having to come to the East Coast.
I think Kyler, they got to get Isabella out there or somebody. Like, they got to get somebody that can play. Like somebody that's got some athleticism. He's throwing to Damiere Byrd. He's throwing to Keyshawn Johnson. He's throwing to the ghost of Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah. They got to get that man some help, dude. Get him somebody that can beat somebody.
Yeah, he's got to have some guys that can get separation. Did he use his legs much? I don't think
really,
he used his legs much.
If the pocket collapsed, he ran.
He did.
I'd like to see him use
get
his
out.
Legs in this one, man.
I think he's going to have to run from that defensive line, and if he does, he'll have a chance to have a really good day. But I'm
you're
with
a huge believer. I mean, $5,400 for him. It's cheap enough. It wouldn't ruin your lineup. And if he does go off, you'd be looking pretty. But I don't know if I got the stomach for it.
Yeah, that's all right. So we've got our defense and our receiver left. Defensively, what are you thinking? I think we're all on the same page with this one.
Let's get our defense in there. I think you either pay up for the Patriots against the Dolphins, or you pay down for the Texans against Gardner Minshew. Usually, I think these rookie quarterbacks, when they get thrown into games, they look good. Everybody gets really excited about them. But once that other team gets a whole week to game plan against them, and it's Gardner Minshew, it's not some star rookie quarterback, I think he's going to fall on his face. Texas defense.
It's also in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that. Houston just lost an absolute heartbreaker. You know, I think they're going to come out and be wide open. That's going to be. I think that's the defense to buy. I don't have the Patriots in a single lineup, truthfully, just because I think that Jacksonville offense rolling in there, the Texans are going to be absolutely fired up. And it's going to be a beatdown, in my opinion. I don't. Yeah.
And the coordinator, DeFilippo or whatever, he loves to pass the ball. So like a normal coordinator would be like, "Hey, I got a rookie quarterback. Let me dial it back down." No. This guy might say, "Minshew, go throw."
He's going to get pressure.
And he did throw a pick last week.
He'll throw a pick 6 this week, probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
I love.
It frees up extra salary. You could do a lot worse than plugging the Texans 100%.
Yeah, let's see where that leaves us at. Ooh.
Wow. So we have 8,400 left. So that's going to put us in the Zeke range. We could go D-Hop here if we like that.
You could go MT, get Kamara and MT if you wanted to.
Ooh.
Oh,
A lot you can do here.
Yeah, we got
Here, I'm going to use my crystal ball real quick. I think Hopkins.
Against
What do you-
Ramsey? Whew.
Dude, he's
I
an
don't-
absolute stud.
right here
That's
when
tough.
I see
And he
that
had 3 drops last
8,400
week.
left
I'll
after
tell
I
you what
filled out my whole lineup, and it says play Hopkins. I don't want that to bully me into doing it. I think I'm gonna like move some money around.
I'll tell you what
honestly.
I do. I plug in Cooks at wide receiver right there, so I got my
That's
Rams
what I wanted
guy.
to do, Brandon Cooks.
And the Saints struggle with the big plays. Brandon Cooks is a machine. He left a lot of air yards on the field last week, whatever. And then I bumped that Josh Allen up to Patrick Mahomes, and I just have a great day.
All right, so let's do some work here. So we're going Brandon
That's just how I
Cooks
see
in
that one,
here.
at least.
Do we have enough for Mahomes?
7,500, it should be.
It's not 74.
Oh, is it really?
It is
Yeah.
74. Okay.
Dang. Well, then I guess you got to do something else.
Let's see what we can
Plug
afford.
in Lamar Jackson. Then you got 700 to do whatever you want with.
What do you want to do?
Anything.
So we
Sometimes
could-
you can leave salary.
we could
Not
we could
700.
bump. Let's take a look at. So you're sold on getting some of that.
Take Ingram out, because if you're gonna have Lamar, I don't think we do it this week. We did it last week. We don't do Lamar and Ingram this week. I think that's a little. I think people will do it. I think you'll see a lot of Baltimore stacks. People trying to chase that money.
Yeah,
But I ain't
I
chasing
think
that
this is an ugly range for
That's
me.
tough.
So some names here, just so you guys can look at it. We have 6,700 left, and some names are Kenny Galladay. That's the Chargers at Detroit. Mixon, who even knows what's going to happen? Nobody knows. Tyler Boyd, Andy
Sonny
Dalton's
Michel.
never going to throw that much ever again. So we're thinking Sony Michel.
Then
Okay.
you have your choice. You can leave the 500, which is fine, dude. If you're leaving 500 or less, you can roll the lineup. It's fine. If
Yeah.
you're leaving 1,000 or less, redo it.
Yeah.
But you could
1,000
bump
more.
whatever, 1,000 or more. You could bump Waller up to Mark Andrews and have the Lamar Jackson stack if you wanted to, or you can leave it alone. Or
Okay.
you can go I think Cowboys needs 3,300 or something.
What could you bump John Brown to?
Yeah,
when you
I
don't
saw
have
that.
Josh
That's
you
what
Allen?
I'm
wouldn't want
looking
to.
You wouldn't want to.
I don't think you would want to. Nah.
That's
Yeah. So you can't gain a whole lot. So just to look at our lineup.
That's not bad. I like that lineup. I would
Lamar,
play that lineup.
Lamar Jackson, and we've talked about it against at home versus Arizona. Derrick Henry is at home versus an Indianapolis Colts team that made Austin Eckler look like a Hall of Famer as well. Alvin Kamara on the road at the Rams has great matchups, has traditionally played well against that team, so we like Kamara. John Brown versus literally nobody, playing 11-0 against the Giants. Mecole Hardman, we're saying that last week was a Patrick Mahomes just letting it fly. We think Hardman is going to have a great week versus this Oakland team. Brandon Cooks, so we got a little bit on the other side of the Kamara train. We think that he can possibly Jared Goff's going to have to play better, and like you said, he is better at home. So, So I do think that they're going to play better. They're going to come out. Waller is a good buy at 3,300 at tight end. With Derek Carr's going to have to throw the ball, and then we have Sony Michel with a chance to score 2, 3, 4
Absolutely.
touchdowns.
I'll say this when you're making your lineups, and I don't care what you do because it doesn't impact me. What you guys do, people listening, it doesn't impact me. But you want to go against these Miami defenses, these Arizona defense, and New York Giants. You don't want to see these teams getting just smacked because they will majority of the Sundays this year. And sitting there thinking, I don't have anybody going up against them, and I could have picked any player that I wanted.
Yeah,
And I chose no.
Yeah.
I said, nope, not me.
yeah. So you want to roll it out.
Oh, yeah.
You
That
know,
lineup's got upside right there, and there's a lot of different builds you can make out of that lineup by just turning a
Yeah,
little things
and so
around.
I had one of my buddies ask me what I did this past week, and I was like, the first thing that I do is I pick the lineups I like, or I pick matchups I like. I know what games. I kind of have a good feeling about game scripts and where things are going to go. Then I have my list of names. I have a bunch of guys, and you mentioned this on our first episode when we talked about DFS. I got a list of guys. I'm not going to play this guy. I'm not going to play Kerryon Johnson this year. I don't care. I don't care if last week's game script fits him. That's just me. I've just seen it. I saw it in preseason.
If he
and I
couldn't
saw
do
it last
against
week.
Arizona, he's not doing it this year.
I'm out. I'm selling all of Kerryon Johnson. Just to name one guy, and there are more than that. I'm not playing any DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel in any of this. That's just me. Guys can if whatever you want. So I'm starting with matchups I like. I love New Orleans. I love that. I love the Patriots against Miami, stuff like that. And then I'm picking guys that I like. So I want all these matchups I can get. And then if I want to get a little bit creative, you don't have to overthink it. But if I want to get creative, I think John Brown's going to have a great week, or even if, and it hurts me to say this, even if I think D-Jax is going to go off 1 week, whatever. It's your money. If you want to burn it, that's fine. Yeah. But I want to make sure that I get in. I want to buy as much of these matchups as I can get.
Absolutely. I would just reiterate again, do whatever you want, but if you do it, do it. Don't just have like a little bit of Brandon Cooks here and say, I've got one lineup with him, but he's not in my other 9 lineups or whatever. That does you no good. If Cooks goes off, what are the odds that one lineup's going to be perfect? You might as well play the lottery kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Go with your guys, know who you're rooting for on Sunday, and when it works and you're right, you'll make a whole lot more than when you're wrong. And you're not going to be right every week, but when you're right, you're going to be really right.
Yeah, gotcha. I like that. Okay, so hopefully that helped with a little bit of DFS. We talked about some things and some guys that we liked. So we're going to move into our pick'em part of our show. We're going to start with, what's the Thursday night game?
Oh, you know what the Thursday night game is, Brad.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers coming into Charlotte. If Panthers don't win that, the season's over. You won't hear me on this podcast again.
Okay, so we've got Panthers and Bucks in Carolina. You guys going?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be there? Be there for sure. All
You
right.
talking about the Curtis Samuel rebound game?
Is this it?
I won't miss that. Dang. He was wide open on that one play, man.
I'm thinking there's a chance, and I'm hoping we run Jameis Winston out of his starting spot again.
Nah, Bruce Arians said he gives his quarterbacks 8 weeks to learn the system before he judges them. That's
8
the truth.
Eight
He said that.
weeks.
One more round, then,
Wow.
man, I'm ready for that. I think Panthers win this one easily.
Ian Thomas probably plays.
Whoa.
Some
Yeah,
of us
Greg
That does
Olsen.
nothing for me. I don't
Some
know.
of us are rooting for that.
Okay.
Okay.
He's cooler.
All right, so we're going all three at the table going to take
Carolina.
We're taking Carolina. So then we've got Buffalo at the Giants.
Buffalo.
Like-
It'll be more of a beatdown than people
Ugly?
think. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo's better than
Buffalo.
people think, and New York's worse than people think.
Ah, man, Barkley's so good though.
I know it's a travesty. It's a terrible situation for him.
All right, the 49ers at the Bengals.
Ooh, San Francisco.
Yeah. give me
Even
the
though, dude, I
49ers.
like what Cincy's doing, man. All they do is throw. If you got Joe Mixon, which some of us do, I'd be a little bit worried.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't run the ball. They say they don't need it. They don't want it. This guy's playing
Dalton,
Madden.
Dalton literally threw what? How many passes?
417 yards.
That's crazy for Andy Dalton.
They don't care, dude.
Roll him out there. All right, we'll
don't-
take the Niners.
49ers. That's
Cowboys at the Redskins.
fun. Oh, Cowboys.
nobody's
I
taking
hate
Chargers.
it, man. Chargers at the Lions.
Chargers. Even though the
Chargers,
Chargers,
yeah.
that's the kind of game they end up screwing up and losing. But
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go.
No,
They tried week one. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so hard.
They're so.
That pick was sick, by the way. The one had a
Oh,
pick in the
yeah,
end zone,
yeah.
that was nuts.
That was
That was
nice.
crazy. That was sweet. All right, Vikings at the Packers.
Is this game going to be blacked out?
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
fun.
It's awful.
I don't know if how could they possibly have enough viewership to play this game on live TV?
Give me the
Come
Packers.
on, man.
I
Yeah,
can't watch these teams anymore.
I don't
man.
wanna
can't
watch
this
it.
slow mess. I love Stephon Diggs, but he's trapped. That Kirk Cousins threw 10 passes. How many catches could he have? 10? That's the most.
That
He'd
is
have to
bad.
get
I didn't
100%
realize
market share.
I didn't realize it was that low. That is
Yeah, it's 10
awful.
passes.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
That
man.
is terrible. All
I'm
right,
not born in the 60s. I don't have to do
I'm going A-Rod. I'm doing it.
I'll go
They've
the
got-
Vikings, but
They've got a defense now.
Give me the
Quote
Packers.
Aaron
3-3
Rodgers.
tie.
We've got a defense now.
3-3 tie.
Ooh,
3-3
an
tie.
ugly game. Michael's saying that he hates that NFC North. All of
Oh, I
it.
don't
Vikings,
wanna
Packers,
even deal with
Lions,
it.
Bears.
I don't even want to deal with it, bro.
I did. Hey, I went to Soldier Field. Saw Soldier Field in person. That
Hey,
was pretty cool.
That's sick.
Fortunately
was
for
cool.
you, there was no game going on.
No, there wasn't. Man, I can see. I was just sitting there imagining it. I mean, it was hot. I mean, it was still like 85 degrees in Chicago this past weekend.
Oh.
At night you could tell, like, man, it's right there on Lake Michigan. It's pretty
man.
chilly, but
yeah.
it was cool.
Get the snow going.
Man, I was
That
just
would be
like,
sick.
in like 3 months, it's gonna be just so cold here. Like, I could not even imagine, man. It's just gonna be so cold in Chicago. I couldn't do it.
man.
But anyway,
Watching that Trubisky football.
yeah. Oh God, awful.
Yikes.
The worst. All right, Colts at Titans.
Derrick
Henry's
Henry's gonna
show.
pummel him,
Choo
bro.
choo. The Henry train. Patriots, Dolphins, Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots.
Cardinals at the Ravens.
Oh, I would love to take Kyler Murray, dude.
Dude,
The kid
what-
is special as
Dude,
mess,
if
but it's just
this was the other way around and they were playing and the Ravens were playing in Arizona, I would take.
I would have to. I'm on the Kyler Murray train, dude. I think
he looked good,
He's going to
man.
ball in spite of his surroundings. He doesn't have much help, but the kid is awesome.
Yeah, Larry Legend's gonna
His throws
pull.
are so nice, man.
He's sweet, dude. He's
that ball,
he's
especially
special.
like compared to a Cam, that ball is coming out of there,
Yeah.
bro. It's
I think
he
you gotta take
slings
the
it.
Ravens, man.
I guess we'll take lots of
Stop
stuff.
anybody. And the
We're
Ravens,
still gonna get Kyler Murray shirts.
The Ravens defense can stop Kyler sometimes, but the Cardinals defense cannot.
Sure,
stop
but we
Lamar
hope they
anytime.
don't. We hope they don't.
All right,
bruh.
here you go. Seattle, Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's tough.
I'm going.
Pittsburgh.
I'm going Steelers revenge game. I think
Yeah.
they play really well.
Seattle kind of looked like the underdog in that Cincy game. They were playing weird, man.
Yeah.
I'll go Pittsburgh for sure. They bounced back big time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
I
go Pittsburgh. That's fine.
Yeah,
But they got to bench Dante Moncrief.
They really
They've got to find a spot on the bench. I don't know what's the deal. Like, coach's son? Is that the deal?
I don't know. Jags at Texans.
Oh, the Minshew game.
Yeah, he's
Easy.
Is there any chance Fournette could run on him a little bit and get going?
I don't know.
Latavius Murray and Kamara had some success, but
They're not the same.
Probably not.
Come on.
Probably
Come
not.
on. Yeah, then
Just go with the
Minshew
Texans.
versus
Go with
easy peasy. Kansas City at Oakland.
oh man, I'll tell you what. I'm
He's
a
after
big
in-game.
obviously I'm a big Watkins guy, but I'd love to see John Gruden go 2-0 and knock off Mahomes. Oh my gosh,
That would be
bruh.
sweet. I
After
hope
the offseason he's had.
dude.
I'd
I
be
think
pumped.
that So it is. So it's in Oakland.
Yeah, the black hole, bro.
Ooh, that would be
the Chucky mask.
That
and
would be
stuff.
crazy,
Dude,
man.
I'm
If
all
they
about
won
it.
that, oh man! And you see John Gruden and just getting interviewed after that game, just
it'd be
losing
sick,
his
bro.
mind.
Man.
I'd love it. Bears at Broncos.
That's
Sunday
another
afternoon.
snooze fest. Bears.
You think? Bears
Yeah,
defense
hopefully
too
Allen
good.
Robinson does something, but
Bears
I won't
defense
watch
too
it.
good to pick against them.
here's
Saints
the
and
premier
Rams.
game, bruh. Ooh.
Saints
We're
and Rams.
getting.
It's gonna be
Is there a
another good
coin?
one.
Is there a coin over there?
That's tough, dude. The Rams looked a little sluggish against the Panthers, man. I mean, they kind of got together a little bit like through the second half or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think I'm
but
going Saints.
the Panthers could have won that game. I'll go Saints.
You think Saints?
Yeah. Plus,
What's
the Saints hate them, man. After what happened,
Yeah,
they're
that's
gonna be
true,
pissed, bruh.
dude. So what's the difference maker for you in this game?
I would say that Super Bowl hangover is probably the main thing. And then Todd Gurley,
Yeah, the
he
running
got
games are
100
gonna be a
yards.
lot
He's not
different.
Todd Gurley anymore, though.
No.
Like, if you actually watched him play, he's a fine, like, halfback 2 for fantasy or whatever,
Yeah.
and he's a grinder. But he looked unsure of himself. He had those 2 almost fumbles or whatever that would have.
Yeah, he's not hitting the hole hard.
Kamara can do
He's
what
not-
McCaffrey
he
did
doesn't have the
against
burst.
the Rams, and you add that passing game that the
Sold.
Saints have.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I mean,
Sold.
the Panthers would have won if Cam could have thrown well last week.
At all.
So
Yeah.
Eagles at Falcons.
Do the Falcons rise from the dead and get in this one? I mean, can they do
I-
anything?
dude,
Like,
I mean,
why did they look like dust, Will?
Dude, I don't know. But these are the type of games that they win where like Matt Ryan goes off and Julio Jones catches 200 yards and all of a sudden and they beat a really good team.
I mean, this is a good spot for them at home. They got to save their season right here.
Let's pick
it's
our
early,
upset
but you
right
gotta
here.
do it.
Dude,
I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I
Falcons
like
over
it.
Eagles.
I'll do it
I
for
like
sure.
it. Browns at Jets.
Oh, dude, Odell Beckham's going for 200.
Yeah.
Think
the-
about
Ooh,
it, bro. Think
New
about what
York,
Smokey
man.
did against Tremaine
Odell's
Johnson.
going to go play in New
He's-
York too, bro. That's
I don't know if he's upset about the watch or what his deal is, but he's going to do 200 yards with that watch on.
I'm not worried about Odell as much as I am Baker. What the hell do?
he's got
he
it.
was
Is he
drunk.
fine?
He was drunk for that game. He didn't even. He doesn't.
He was
remember
drunk.
that
He was
game.
he was drunk on
He'll
something.
be out there Monday night, bruh.
Let's do it.
Browns.
Cleveland Browns over the Jets.
Submit it, bruh.
Let's do it. Those are my picks. I'm actually in that.
He's going to roll.
I'm
that.
in it. I'm putting that in. Here, I'm
There's
gonna
$1
do
million on the line. With
I'm
these
gonna
picks.
do also in our. I'm gonna retouch on it again. Then we're gonna close and wrap up. So L. Jackson, Henry, Kamara, John Brown, Mecole Hardman, Brandon Cooks, Waller, Sony Michel, and the Texas defense. I'm gonna do it.
That's worth.
I'm gonna
$3.
do it, and we'll
That's
talk
worth
about it
$3.
next week.
If you're a
Yeah,
listener, go ahead and
absolutely.
throw it in too. Have some fun with it.
Throw it in. All right. So that's gonna wrap us up for today. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully we did we helped you a little bit. Week 1 was cool.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was awesome. We had some good football. I think they set the record for the number of touchdowns
Yeah,
scored in
I
week
read
1.
that, yeah.
And that was after 1 was scored week
Let's
on
beat it
Thursday night.
Let's beat it this week.
Yeah.
I love it. Give
Let's
me
roll
all
it,
the
bro.
touchdowns. So hopefully we helped you a little bit with some buy low, sell high stuff. Hopefully Derrick Henry and Sammy Watkins don't embarrass me any more this season. I'm starting to believe the Henry hype just a little bit more than I did last week this time. He did look good though. I'll give you that for sure. And hopefully we helped you with a little bit of DFS. I'm Will, Michael Dillon. We're all here. Thank you guys for listening. We are out. Peace.
Gone.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at BeyondFFP and check us out on YouTube at Beyond the Fantasy Football Podcast. We'll catch you next time.